What's going on, guys? Three Wheels in the Block back again. We got the Regal GS and it's time for an oil change. Alright, for this repair or service, you're going to need, you don't need gloves, I recommend them. Something to hold your oil in. You'll need some engine oil. You can use what you want to. 5W30 is recommended for the 2.0 liter turbo. And this right here, Dexos. You'll also need a filter. We're going to be using this guy right here. Said it's good for 10,000 miles. I change my oil every 5. Should look something like this. If you get a good kit, it'll come with a new O-ring. I recommend you just go ahead and replace it every time you do your oil change. You know, that's up to you. The cost is maybe a couple dollars for this little O-ring, if that much. So I recommend changing both. Let's go ahead and get the car jacked up. Get on some jack stands, and we'll get to it. Alright, always use proper jack supports when you have your vehicle elevated. So you got my jack, got my jack stands under there. Your hood latch is just inside the door on the left hand side. Alright, you're also going to need a wrench to turn that guy right there. I think it's an inch and 5/16. I'll put the size in freedom units and metric units for that guy. That's where your oil filter resides. And I'll show you the oil drain plug. Underneath the car, this is the oil drain pan right here. And your drain plug is right back there. Alright, let's go ahead and slide our oil catch pan underneath. And let's get that drain plug off. Alright, down here at the oil drain plug, 15 millimeter. Put it on there. Give it a nice firm tap, get it loose. Make sure you have the oil drain plug in position. Run the rest of her out by hand. Whew, that was close, but we got it. No metal shavings. That's good, real good. Means our timing components aren't coming apart yet, at least metal wise. All right, we're gonna let that continue to drain out into the drain pan. Hey Bentley, you tell everybody hi. Shop dog, he's taking over. Oh yeah, if you guys would be interested in some Three Wheels on a Block merch, yeah, drop me a comment below. Have this and some other designs I'll show you guys in the future. Get some shirts out there for you guys so you can support the team. The team mainly being me and Max Square. Y'all hadn't seen him in a while, but he's been lurking. Alright, if you don't have the appropriate size wrench to remove that, you can use an adjustable wrench as long as it goes up to 30 millimeters or an inch and a half or an inch and a quarter. So put that on there. You want to have a rag ready so you don't get oil all over your engine bay. I'll lift it up out of there. It should be attached to this little piece here, like so. See, my previous filter used was an AC Delco. It seems to have done a really good job. It's got the GM stamp right there. You just grab your filter and pull. It should pop right off of there. Now that O-ring goes right around here. Now upon further inspection, this O-ring actually looks really, really good. It's been on here about 4,000 miles, maybe 5,000 miles. So I'm gonna go ahead and rerun this one because it still looks brand new. But if your O-ring does not look nice and clean, definitely replace it. And it doesn't hurt to have extra O-rings because you may damage one trying to get this on or off. So I recommend get the filter with O-ring every time. Take your new filter out. Press it down on the filter housing assembly. Just get a nice click, and it should not easily pull back off. Flip her over this way, and insert it back down in this hole right back here. Get you guys up a little bit so you can see that. Just goes right down in there. Pointer down in there like so. Start working it in clockwise, nice and easy, to make sure you don't cross thread anything. It should go in by hand. If it doesn't go in by hand, stop and try again, so you don't mess that filter housing or filter holder up. Should go all the way down to about that far. You can tighten the rest of it up with your wrench. As you approach tightening up that housing as tight as it's supposed to be, you'll hear the filter in there start to click a little bit, and that's the spring-loaded tension that holds the filter in place. Those little plastic screws start clicking around, and then it'll stop turning. Don't turn it once it stops turning. You'll break it. Don't do that. Very handy tool. Oh yeah, my family garden calls this thing a spanner. I think that's what they call it in the UK. In the US, we call it the adjustable wrench, because it's a wrench that's adjustable. But yeah. Alright, let's go down and put the oil drain plug back in. Get ready to fill that with oil. Start it by hand, like so. Do not want to cross thread this guy, because that would mean you have to replace your oil pan. And this oil pan, as you can see here, is one piece that bolts to the transmission. So that would suck a lot. So do not cross thread your oil drain plug putting it back in. Let's get our 15 millimeter, flip it over to tighten. Yeah, flip it over to tighten, you dummy. Come on. Here we go. Just tighten her up nice and snug. Don't go too far or you'll break that off, and yeah, you'll be in the same place. If you can't drill it out and tap it out, or use the knees out, you gotta replace the oil pan. So take your time, get it right. Oil drain plugs in. All the oil is in a nice oil holding container that we will take and get recycled in the near future. Let's get up top and fill this thing up with oil. Alright, when filling up the oil, I recommend you use the big filter. I mean, you can see how big that thing is. It's as big as the battery. The reason I recommend a big filter is because you're going to make less of a mess. Don't try to use some little tiny filter. Go get you something big. With the oil cap, you see we got 5W30 and Dexos. Drop your funnel there. You also notice that this oil funnel, or filler funnel, whatever you want to call it, has a screen. Extra protection. Make sure you don't get anything in your engine that doesn't need to be in there. Now the oil capacity on the Regal GS with the 2.0 turbocharged inline 4 is 6 quarts. So we're going to go ahead and start filling her up. We'll start with a 5-quart jug, and then we'll add another quart. Alright, first 5 are in. Let's get this last quart. Now, if you guys see my other videos, I've got a 2015 Yukon XL, and it uses 8.5 quarts, and this one uses 6 quarts. So what I do is I purchase 3 5-quart jugs at the same time, and these oil changes relatively happen close to each other. So I always have about a half quart left over. I think that's right. 8.5 plus 6 is 14.5, and 3 times 5 is 15. So yeah, I have a half quart left over. You'll see that right here in this jug. That's your 1 quart line right there. Roughly about a half quart. So save yourself time and money. Use the rag to make sure we don't drip any engine oil in the engine bay. Go ahead and replace our oil fill cap. Last thing to do is reset the oil life monitor. Let's go ahead and do that. yeah, I got a wheel bearing I have to replace. I think that's every Buick Regal owner. Definitely the GS's. Anyway, let's get to our oil life monitor. We're using the navigation keys over here on the steering wheel stock. If you have a later model GS after 13, your process will be on the steering wheel buttons. See, the oil life is at 22%. So we're going to hold the set clear button. Are you sure you want to reset? Scroll up here, up to yes. That does say yes. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. And hit the OK. And she's at 100%. Let's go ahead and shut her off. All right. Good job, Bentley. The oil is done. It's all you, buddy. All right. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Stay tuned for future videos where you'll see where I put the center of the splitter back in. I almost said spoiler again. I said that in the whole other video. The splitter. Yeah, the center part of the splitter, it failed. Got ripped off on the highway. So we're going to put it back. I've got a new one in a box over there somewhere, and we're going to make it better. So stay tuned for that video. Smash that like button, drop me a comment below. Let me know if you've done your oil change on your Buick Regal with the 2.0 turbo. And if you did, was it easy? I thought this wasn't too bad. It's nice to have the oil filter up top because then you're not draining oil all over yourself if you try to do a spin-off filter. So yeah, pretty straightforward. I hope this video was helpful. Hope it gets you what you need to get done on your Buick, or like GM product with the 2.0 turbo. I know the Verano has this and some of the other GM vehicles as well. Thank you guys for watching this video. We'll see you soon.